I'm in Washington, D.C. at the National Vietnam Memorial, where thousands of names are etched into the stone, names that represent the soldiers who died during the Vietnam War. 16 of these names were chaplains, chaplains who served with units in Vietnam, chaplains who just demonstrated what it meant to serve God and country, chaplains who were faithful in nurturing the living, caring for the wounded, and honoring the dead. I want to take just a moment and tell you a little bit more about these chaplains, where they're from, who they served with, and how they died, so that in this small way we can honor them, memorialize them for their service, for their sacrifice.
Mir Engel was from Israel, immigrated to the United States. He joined the Army, was assigned to the MACV headquarters, and served primarily Jewish soldiers, of course, but as a chaplain provided religious support to all. He was a veteran of World War II and Korea as well before he went to Vietnam. On 16 December 1964, he admitted himself to a hospital in Saigon, and shortly after that died of a heart attack. William Brgy was a Catholic priest from Waterloo, Iowa. He was traveling to provide religious support to soldiers of the 101st Airborne Division when on 4 May 1966, the CH-47 he was being transported on crashed due to mechanical failure. William Feaster was from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. He was a member of the Congregational Christian Church. In Vietnam, he was assigned to the 196th LIB. On 18 September 1966, his unit came under artillery fire, and he was wounded by that artillery fire, but no one learned of that until after he was helping other wounded soldiers get relief. He died a few weeks later of an infection to his wounds from that day. William Garrity was from Havre, Montana. He was a Catholic priest, joined the Navy. On 26 October 1966, in the Gulf of Tonkin, a fire engulfed the USS Oriskany, which would eventually kill 44 crewmen and injuring another 156. While Garrity was providing last rites and other religious support to the injured and dying, he was overwhelmed by the heat and the smoke and died that day. Michael Queeley was a Catholic priest from New York, New York. He was an Army chaplain assigned to the 1st Infantry Division. He was moving forward to visit his soldiers near a battle site near Saigon on 8 November 1966. He was providing last rites and other comfort to the wounded when he was killed by enemy machine gun fire. James Johnson was a Baptist chaplain with the Army. He was traveling on a Navy VC-47 plane on 10 March 1967 when one of the wings failed and the plane went down. 14 other service members as well as Chaplain Johnson died on that day. Ambrose Grandia was from the Philippines. He was a member of the Methodist Church assigned to the 1st Battalion, 14th Infantry. On 25 May 1967, while he was conducting a worship service, Grandia was wounded by a mortar fire that came into the unit. He was evacuated to Clark Air Force Base there in the Philippines, where he died several days later from infection. Vincent Cappadono was a Catholic priest from Staten Island, New York. He joined the Navy and was assigned to the 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines. He was out on patrol with one of his units when they came under fire. Cappadono was wounded by small arms and mortar fire, but continued to minister to his Marines. He was out providing last rites and caring for Marines when he was killed by enemy fire. He would later be posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor for his heroism under fire. Charles Waters was a Catholic priest from Berkeley Heights, New Jersey. He was an Army chaplain assigned to the 73rd Airborne Brigade. And on 19 November 1967, while he was assisting medics and providing spiritual care to soldiers, he was killed by fragmentation wounds. He was later posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor for his heroic actions. Aloysius McGonagall was a Catholic priest from Washington, D.C. He was an Army chaplain with the 1st Battalion, 5th Marines on their final assault on the Citadel in Hue. He was administering comfort and last rites on 17 February 1968 when he was killed by small arms fire. Robert Brett grew up in Philadelphia, came into the Navy, a Catholic priest. He was assigned to the 2nd Battalion, 26th Marine Regiment. During the siege on Quezon, as he was ministering to wounded soldiers on 22 February 1968, Brett was killed by an artillery attack. Martin Singer was a Jewish Army chaplain from Flushing, New York. He was attached to the 24th Corps. He had been in Vietnam for just about a month when he was flying aboard a C-123 on his way to perform or provide Hanukkah services on 17 December 1968 when that plane crashed after takeoff. Don Bartley was from Rockbridge, Baths, Virginia, member of the United Presbyterian Church, and was assigned to the MACV headquarters. He had less than a month left in Vietnam when he was assisting the filming of a television program on Vietnam chaplains when he was killed after the explosion of an enemy mine. Roger Hines was from Coventry, Connecticut, served with the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. He was an Army chaplain serving with the 5th Special Forces Group. He was on his way to provide religious support when the helicopter he was traveling in crashed into a hillside during poor weather. Philip Nichols was from Kalispell, Montana, member of the Assemblies of God Church. He was an Army chaplain assigned to the 1st Battalion, 52nd Infantry, McGonagall Division. He was traveling between his units, visiting them when he was cut down by an enemy booby trap on 13 October 1970. Merle Brown was from Columbus, Ohio, a Lutheran chaplain. He was assigned to the McGonagall Division. He was out providing religious support, specifically on the way to 1st Battalion, 20th Infantry, when the helicopter he was being transported on was shot down. This happened on Easter Sunday in 1971. All of these chaplains who died in Vietnam, with the exception of Chaplain Ingle, died while either ministering to soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, or on their way to do so. Chaplain Ingle's exception being a heart attack, undoubtedly a contributing factor was the stresses of providing religious support in a combat environment. It's good for us to remember these 16 chaplains who died in Vietnam, as they were there serving God and country, as they were active in nurturing the living, caring for the wounded, and honoring the dead. These 16 chaplains died because their country called them to serve, their God called them to minister, and they went willingly and performed their duties admirably.
This is Daryl Densford at the National Vietnam Memorial for the Chaplain Kit. Thanks for joining me.